Welcome to Hypnosis Health Info. I'm Roger Moore. You probably already know that I'm pretty passionate about childhood obesity, about putting an end to it, and I pretty much consider childhood obesity in this country as we're just downright criminal. To me, it's unconscionable that we're feeding our kids in homes and in schools processed foods that contain a lot of fat and sugar and chemicals, and we're giving them sugary drinks and milks filled with sugar, and it's just, to me, it's child abuse, it's child neglect that we're doing that to our kids. And childhood obesity in this country, for the most part, is preventable. And there was a study yesterday, November 16th of 2011, that was reported in WebMD News. And it talks about obese kids who lose weight may cut heart risk too. And the study shows that benefits for heart health in obese children who lose weight before adulthood. And it says that obese children who manage to get to a healthy weight before they reach adulthood have the same risk for heart disease and other obesity-related diseases as kids who are never overweight, new research shows. Investigators looked at information from 4 large studies that followed children into adulthood in an effort to determine if childhood obesity necessarily leads to an increase in heart and stroke risk as an adult. They found little evidence of a long-term health impact associated with early obesity among adults who had been able to get back to a normal weight. While this finding was encouraging, there was a not so surprising, discouraging finding as well. Most obese children become obese adults, and their risk for heart attacks, stroke, and diabetes was much higher than their normal weight counterparts. This is the first time it's been shown that obesity as early as the age of 3 may not have a long-term health consequences in children who are able to lose weight before adulthood. Now remember this, they do need to lose the weight in order to have the long-term consequences. But only 20% of obese children were normal weight as adults. Only 20%. Compared to about 85% of children who are not overweight or obese. This illustrates the importance of doing as much as we can to prevent childhood obesity. Compared to people whose weight was normal over the entire period of the studies, those who remained obese from childhood to adulthood had a 5-fold greater risk for developing type 2 diabetes. They also had nearly a 3-fold greater risk for developing high blood pressure and a 2-fold greater risk for having low HDL or good cholesterol. Obese children who become obese adults had nearly 2 times the risk for plaque buildup in the neck arteries, a major cause of stroke. So folks, again, this is so preventable that again, to me, it's unconscionable that we're doing this to our kids. We can start feeding our kids real food that does look like it was dug out of the earth, picked off a plant or a bush or out of a tree. Instead of giving our kids all those sugary drinks, give them water. And if they need a little bit of flavoring in the water, well, then add a little bit of apple juice or grape juice or something like that, cranberry juice to give it a touch of flavor if they really insist on that. But for the most part, kids will adapt very quickly. They'll drink water. It's up to us to be the parents and to start parenting our kids. And one of the great things about kids is they're naturals at hypnosis. And they use their imagination all the time, and learning to use self-hypnosis is just a snap for them. It's not a big deal at all. They can learn it very quickly, very easily, and they can change their thoughts, they can change emotions, they can change behaviors, they can change their desires for food and drinks. Instead of wanting the strawberry milk, they can learn to drink water. Instead of wanting the sugar sodas, they can create a healthy desire for water. Instead of wanting potato chips and mac and cheese and all those things that can contain a lot of chemicals and are very processed and full of fat and toxins, they can learn to use self-hypnosis and create a desire for the vegetables, the whole grains, for the fruits, for plant-based foods. So folks, remember, childhood obesity is a family affair. You got to get the whole family involved, and the whole family eating healthy. The whole family needs to get out and get active. So mom and dad, you take the lead role and you get your kids outside and start playing with them. Go for walks, go for hikes, go for bike rides, go swimming, go play basketball, or whatever it is you might want to do. But get your kids away from their Xboxes, get your kids away from in front of the TV, get outside, be active, eat healthy. Your family will be happier. Your kids ultimately are going to have better grades. They're going to be emotionally just in a much better place for the rest of their life. And it's also going to help improve their health as adults. Take a look at all the tools and resources here at hypnosishealthinfo.com and at slenderforlife.com. There's lots of tools that would support you and your family in getting to a healthy weight and, most importantly, staying there. If there's any way I can support you, give me a call at 206-903-1232 or send me an email, roger@hypnosishealthinfo.com. I'm Roger Moore, and this is Hypnosis Health Info.